Dear distinguished guests, dare I say friends, thank you very much for joining us on this auspicious occasion in celebrating research excellence at the University of Mpumalanga. Almost all of you have participated in the university's inaugural Research and Innovation Day. I want to be forward to say already that I think the first one was a very great success. And there are indicators to qualify that. So number one, the level and depth of discussion. Number two, the numbers who participated. Number three, the quality of the first round of research exhibitions which were engaging, and of course the numbers of visitors to each of the exhibits also. And number four, that it was enjoyable. No pressure, open discussion, intellectual discourse, and we want to thank you for that. This is also the first time that the university's Excellence Awards are linked to its what will now become an annual Research and Innovation Day, and we're hoping that we will take that forward. I'm very pleased to do light facilitation tonight. This is an evening of enjoyment, of interaction, of networking, but I think most importantly, it is an evening of acknowledging the extraordinary excellence and quality in the research endeavor of the university. We host this evening on behalf of Professor Toko Mayakisu, the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Mpumalanga, who is the custodian of the university's Excellence Awards. VC, thank you very much for being here. You are our eminent host. And we are very, very pleased, colleagues, with all of you here. She will also mention the very prominent number of distinguished guests that we've had today that has really added value and breadth and presence to our discussions today. And we want to thank you in advance, dear colleagues and visitors who are here. As we celebrate excellence, we will also, of course, profile each of the academic staff and researchers that is here tonight. And we want to thank you and your families, your partners, your friends who are here to share with you this journey of the university. You are not just an employee working at an organization. You are a valued person that makes impact in your community, in your environment. You add value to the positioning of the university, and you are part of the success story of an institution of higher education that makes a difference in the lives of our country. So don't take this award tonight lightly, dear awardees. Don't think it is just something to entice you to work harder, although it is, of course. It is really acknowledging the excellence and contribution that you make to a wider set of indices than only working at the university. I want to also acknowledge the research leaders, other people from the university, the executive, Dr. Govender, all the people who are here, colleagues. You are very welcome, and we look forward to a very enjoyable evening. May I then, with great pleasure, invite our Vice-Chancellor, Professor Toko Mayakisu, the custodian and host of tonight of the university's Excellence Awards, to make her key remarks. Thank you very much, Toko.
Sanibonani, Dumelang, Ausheni, Loshani, Dimatekwana, Molweni. Good evening, Goeienaand, Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed an honor and a privilege for me to share a few thoughts with you on the occasion of the 2023 Research, Teaching and Engagement Excellence Awards ceremony. A special word of welcome to our keynote speaker, Dr. Sally Steinfeld, as well as our distinguished guests, Dr. Thandi Mgwebi, Professor Franz Swanepoel, Dr. Gugu Mushi, Mr. Christian Asema, Professor Opara, I don't see Margaret. She's left. Okay, and Professor Musha, you are all welcome. The awards function is meant to be an occasion to celebrate and truly appreciate one another. Ceremonies of this nature are there to humanize us and to remind us never to forget counting our blessings and appreciating one another. My task is to remind you of the psychological safety we all need to feel trusted, valued, appreciated, and needed, and also to raise our consciousness about our connectedness to one another. A special word of acknowledgement goes to our guests of honor this evening, the recipients of the Research Excellence Awards. I congratulate you all for putting in the effort and contributing towards building the UMP brand. Unfortunately, there will be no awards this year in the category of teaching and engagement. We want to take this opportunity to appreciate the members of staff from the schools and faculties of the recipients of the awards, as well as family members. Thank you also goes to the research office for the support they provide to our researchers. We thank everyone for contributing directly or indirectly to the awards. It is such a great uplifting experience to celebrate excellence. Excellence in research and innovation, teaching and learning, and engagement is mission critical and crucial towards the advancement of our vision to be an African university, leading in creating opportunities for sustainable development through innovation. We have learned in the past that circumstances can change dramatically, and life's curveballs can be thrown at us from nowhere. All the more reason to celebrate these achievements with a deep sense of appreciation and thankfulness. That we are able to have these awards says a lot about human determination and resilience. Excellence takes a lot of sacrifice, but it can be done. It is therefore with a sense of hope and pride that we celebrate those amongst us who have excelled. It could not have been easy, and the temptation to give up might have been strong, but your persistence has paid off. There is a ring of truth in the saying that weeds just grow, but flowers are cultivated. Those of you getting awards today Surely spend time sharpening, honing, and refining your skills, deepening your knowledge, and keeping your desire burning. It is also true that the road to excellence is always under construction. Congratulations for your achievements, and may you stay committed to making excellence a habit. With your achievements in the year under review, that is 2022, you remind us all to live true to all the values of the University of Mpumalanga. All our values find expression this evening. Under excellence as a value, we say, we commit ourselves to uphold the highest standards of excellence in all our actions, functions, and services. You have excelled in your endeavors. Well done. We recognized early in our pioneering journey, Luhambo lwemhlahlandlela, that excellence is at the heart of it all, the bedrock of all our pursuits, as it were. We note the following with regard to integrity. At all times and in all situations, the actions and interactions of the university will be characterized by undeviating honesty, by utmost fairness, caring for one another as fellow human beings, and treating one another with the utmost respect. The research ethics committees approved your research proposals to ensure that they are aligned to the value of integrity. Diversity is valued and celebrated in unlocking a range of interactions and enhancing exposure to a wide variety of diverse cultures, backgrounds, views, and opinions. Recognizing both emerging and established academics, for example, demonstrates our application of a lens of diversity and the importance of this value to all of us. Collaboration. As an engaged institution, the University of Mpumalanga will actively seek out opportunities for collaboration with all its stakeholders in maximizing the development of human potential and socio-economic development. Those being recognized today worked in teams and collaborated. Solo efforts and silo mentalities never deliver optimal results. Adaptability. We acknowledge our ever-changing knowledge context, institutional environments, and social situations, and therefore the need to promote and foster adaptability. The research projects we are celebrating took adaptability into account during the years in which we're still reeling from the after effects of COVID-19. Relevance. We endorse the need for academic programs, research activities, and engagement projects to respond to its context. So that's what we say under relevance. Research conducted at the university demonstrates contextual sensitivity. And the last value, inspiration, where we say we value inspiration that allows and encourages others to be more and to do more than what seems possible in the beginning. Many leave the awards ceremony inspired from these awards and go on to work harder to ensure that they too get celebrated in the not too distant future. As we celebrate this evening, may we internalize these values in our pioneering journey, luhambo lwemhlahlandlela, as we continue to make UMP an excellent institution overall. Thank you.
Dear colleagues, doesn't all of you just want to join UMP and come and work here? Huh? Don't you feel like you must apply for any position that is here and be appointed to be part of this most fantastic success story? I want to pick up on the term that was used today by Mr. Esima. We are the excellence. But also what the VC has said is that when excellence becomes a habit. And I don't think those two are mutually inclusive. There's always this striving process to be better. And these are at very many levels. As an organization that is complex, as units or divisions, as individuals, or as researchers or people trying to make a difference. And excellence also is regarded as a construct that one must strive for in your own context. And I think that is what the habit has become, to strive for excellence, colleagues. Secondly, it is not easy to be in a new institution an excellent researcher. Let's be very frank about that. The institution is 10 years old. The process of support, of formalization, of structures, of a national system adherence, etc., is technically also only 6 years old. But the excellent researchers who are here have chosen to join the university. They've chosen to remain excellent, and they've chosen to advance this positioning and acknowledgement of the university. And I think that is part of the contextual process of what is necessary in a support mechanism and in a process of advancement for individuals, for researchers, for students to become part of a movement. And this, I think, that we're celebrating tonight certainly is something like part of a movement. VC, thank you very much. You are truly inspiring. Your words are truly inspiring. I must say a little bit of a tongue in the cheek. It is on one of the videos tonight, and it was mentioned today. But we informally call our VC the inaugural rated researcher of the University of Mpumalanga. Yes, she was rated and she became the VC of University of Mpumalanga. But as we see the trajectory of that supra-acknowledgement of excellence by being rated, we will continue calling you our inaugural rated researcher. So thank you very much for that. Colleagues, Prof. Maikiso has provided the context of the Excellence Awards and that there are various categories within engagement, teaching and learning, and research. It is a very competitive process, and there's a panel that ensures that those who we choose to receive awards are excellent. And this year, because of the competitive nature, we are focusing on the research endeavor, and there are no awards being made in the categories of engagement and teaching and learning. This year, awards in the research category are made for the Faculty Emerging Researcher of the Year, 2 awards in the Faculty Research Excellence Awards, and of course, we are acknowledging our new NRF-rated researchers that received this acknowledgement in 2022 for 2023, and hence they form part of the awards ceremony then of 2023. We are very ready, colleagues, to call these recipients forward and to acknowledge their excellence. We are also very proud that there's a short video on the research and the context that each of these awardees conduct to provide wider context, but also to share with you the passion and the engagement that these researchers portray. I would like to request the VC to please come forward to hand over the first award, and I will announce that then accordingly. And some music later, I think, to ease our process as we've agreed. Yeah. Colleagues, I also acknowledge Cynthia Masaba from the Research Office, who works very closely with the Director of Research, Professor Pindile Lukele Oluronju, who's made this possible, who directs the process of selection and supports the process. So, Cynthia, thank you very much in advance. It is really our pleasure, colleagues, to share with you that the Faculty Emerging Researcher of the Year Award goes to Dr. Ayanda Shabalala. She's from the School of Biology and Environmental Sciences, Faculty of Agriculture and Natural Sciences. Thank you very much, Ayanda. We will now project a short video of Dr. Shabalala's extraordinary achievement, her acknowledgement of the award, and a short overview of her research. Thank you once again, and many congratulations.
My name is Dr. Ayanda Shabalala, and I joined the University of Mpumalanga in March 2015 as a lecturer for water management at the Faculty of Agriculture and Natural Sciences. In my 8 years journey with the university, I've managed to obtain my PhD in civil engineering, become a senior lecturer, and I am currently a program leader for the Bachelor of Science in Environmental Science program. This has been possible through hard work and through immense support that I've received from the University of Mpumalanga, and for that I am grateful. For the past 8 years, I have been conducting research on the development of pervious concrete reactive barrier for the treatment of polluted mine waters. The inspiration behind this research are the challenges of acid mine drainage, being presently one of the most important environmental problems in South Africa. Acid mine drainage is an environmental pollutant that degrades water quality, it affects aquatic life, and it also damages the soil. Most mining communities in developing countries continue to use this water out of desperation and out of lack of alternative water resources. The pervious concrete technology provides an opportunity to mitigate the impact of acid mine drainage in these currently affected mining sites. In 2021, a pervious concrete reactive barrier system was designed and installed at an abandoned mine site at Emalahleni in Mpumalanga. The town of Emalahleni and surrounding areas are faced with the threat of highly acidic mine waters containing elevated amount of metals, sulfates, and other salts. The pilot demonstration, which has been operating for the past 3 years now, has shown that pervious concrete can provide a low-cost treatment technology for the recovery of clean water from acid mine drainage. This technology, therefore, can be considered as an alternative treatment method for addressing the acid mine drainage problem in South Africa. I have also conducted studies to evaluate the suitability of pervious concrete treated mine water for irrigation use and found that the contaminants in the mine water were reduced to levels that are permissible for irrigation water use. Therefore, the use of treated mine water for irrigation of crops can help to reduce water scarcity and to ensure food security. Another pervious reactive barrier has been developed and installed at the University of Mpumalanga South campus. The monitoring of this system in treating wastewater is due to start in the upcoming year. Some of the highlights of the impact of my research includes the development of a low-cost water treatment technology that can be marketed to governments, to the mining industry, or to private sector for possible large-scale implementation. The knowledge and understanding that has been gained on the application of concrete permeable reactive barriers for management of mine waters has been made available through publications in accredited and
Ayana, your research is so overwhelming that we just couldn't take it anymore. So this video was truncated because you are so poised for the future. I am sorry for the video glitch. It seems like it ended prematurely. Congratulations again. We will make this video available, and we honor you as Faculty Emerging Researcher of the Year. Thank you very much. I think they'll work on it, and we'll see. Thank you so much, Ayana. Colleagues, we are very pleased to acknowledge 2 Faculty Research Excellence Awards tonight. This is regarded as one of the pinnacle recognitions of because it indicates a trajectory of emerging awards and then the recognition at the faculty level of established researchers or early established researchers for their excellence. Professor Maikiso, if you can join us again. And the first award, colleagues, we are very pleased to share with you is to Professor Kanayo Ogajuba from the School of Development Studies, Faculty of Economic, Business and Development Studies. Professor Ogajuba is also the director of the Center for Entrepreneurship Rapid Incubation. I'm very pleased to share with you that Professor Ogajuba also received the Faculty Emerging Researcher Award in 2021 and the same award for the Faculty Researcher Excellence Awards last year in 2022. Many congratulations. Let us please share his research journey. Thank you.
School of Development Studies. I'm a development economist by training. Because of my vertical and horizontal interests, I cover areas that concern macroeconomics, entrepreneurship, and public policy. And I work with a team of UMP postgraduate students from other institutions, emerging researchers at UMP, NCAP lecturers, and established researchers at both UMP and other places. And what do I focus on? I focus on developmental issues that have the capacity for transformative change. So one, we focus on macroeconomics, the dynamics of macroeconomics. The second one, we focus on entrepreneurship. And the third one is on public policy. But the key question is, how do we determine the things we'll work on every year? So towards the last quarter of every year, we begin to ask ourselves, what are the forecasts looking like? So the key question from the last quarter of 2021 or 2022 is, African economies are going to have a big challenge because they're dependent on oil and commodities. What happens if there's a disruptive flow? Where will they find themselves in terms of prudential analysis and stability? Okay, what is happening with all the money being spent on public expenditure? Why is poverty still on the increase? Inequality still on the increase, for example, in South Africa. For example, again in Nigeria, who benefits from government expenditure? Is it the people at the lower quintile, or the higher quintile, or the middle quintile? And when it comes to entrepreneurship, the key question is, why do our small businesses fail within 2 or 3 years of startup? And when it comes to public policy, what are the changes that connect socioeconomics, development that will drive the entire process? So these things inform what we do, and we are careful again because we want to select outlets where the impact will be read. And for example, the articles we did in 2022 have had high number of downloads, thousands, views, and a lot of citations. And recently, I've been invited by an MDPI journal, which is accredited with an impact factor of 3.5, to edit a special issue on economic growth via entrepreneurship. And for me, what does this award mean? It means a big recognition from the institution that they acknowledge of what we do. And for me, it's also a catalyst, being the third one in a row within the Faculty Researcher of the Year. It's a good push for me to keep doing what we need to do. But more importantly, we do not want our research just to end, people citing it or people downloading it. We want government to use it as an input for evidence-based knowledge. And so when we want to see ourselves, for me as an individual, I want to begin to plan for my rating next year, NRF rating. I also want to see the center have more funds to incubate more students so that our studentpreneurs, our prospective students will have funds and access for research. And before I end, I would like to say a big thank you to my head of school for her encouragement, the research office, Professor Pindile, for all the support, and of course the Vice Chancellor for providing a conducive and a wonderful atmosphere for research to thrive. Thank you very much.
So, dear friends, in my relatively short time at the university, I've hardly met someone who is more spirited and engaged and energized than Kanyayu. Thank you very much for portraying that in your profile. Thank you very much for your contribution to the university. We are very aware that you are very deliberate on when you want to submit for rating, and we'll be ready for you, the research office, to support you. Congratulations again. Colleagues, we're very pleased to acknowledge the second researcher in the category of Faculty Research Excellence Awards, and that goes to Dr. Tadenda Talu. He is from the School of Biology and Environmental Sciences, Faculty of Agriculture and Natural Sciences. This is the second award for Dr. Dalu. He has previously been recognized as the winner of the Faculty Emerging Researcher Award in 2022. We look forward to share your journey. Thank you very much, Tadenda.
So this is my lab, this is my space, this is where all the students come and do their work. I'm Dr. Tadenda Dalu, a senior lecturer within the School of Biology and Environmental Science in the Faculty of Agriculture and Natural Sciences. I joined the University of Mpumalanga at the beginning of 2021. So now it's been 3 years of doing amazing work with different groups of students. So my research is centered around aquatic ecosystems, whereby I focus mostly within freshwater ecosystems, looking at rivers, lakes, and wetlands. And within these systems, what we are trying to find out or understand is, one, environmental monitoring and assessment, the biodiversity and conservation, and the trophic interactions that exist within these systems. And the other angle that we are trying to look at is alien invasive species. How alien invasive species are shaping trophic interactions within aquatic ecosystems, and also how humans and climate change are affecting these trophic interactions, and how are they affecting the biodiversity of species that exist within these environments. So most of our research is currently being conducted within Mpumalanga, Limpopo, and the Kruger National Park. And so we are helping the national government, SunParks, come up with a biodiversity list. We are also helping them identify the alien invasive species that are found within their aquatic ecosystems that they are managing. So this is helping them better understand how these environments might be impacted now and also within the future. So winning this award is not only for me, but a whole number of students that have worked under me, and also the ones that are currently working under me. So with this award, I dedicate it to those students and also to my family that give me the opportunity and the time to be able to conduct this research.
Very well done, Dr. Dalu. I see that there is an emerging young, excellent researcher at your table who will most probably be recognized at a similar function in the near future. Thank you very much for your excellent award, and congratulations again. Colleagues, that concludes the highly competitive process of the Excellence Awards for faculty research, both emerging and established at the university. And we are very proud of the rigor and the depth and the excellence that these researchers are awarded with. I want to reiterate that you could clearly see that there's a trajectory of development where both the Established Researchers Awards have been preceded by Emerging Researchers Awards. It is not a rule, but we see that that developmental trajectory, support, enabling environment plays a role, and hence the acknowledgement, especially of the Faculty Researcher Award, and Dr. Shabalala, your most magnificent positioning as being recognized for the first time as an Emerging Researcher Award. Congratulations to everyone in this set of categories. We move to a very interesting award category, and that is of rated researchers of the National Research Foundation. We are very, very pleased to have the acting Deputy CEO of the National Research Foundation, Dr. Gugu Moche, in our presence. We're going to call on you shortly to please come forward to share the awarding of these. Yes, and Gugu did not know we are enticing her on short notice. So colleagues, the National Research Foundation reward and celebrate rated researchers using a peer review rating mechanism based on researchers' recent outputs and impact as perceived by international peers. And let's emphasize by international peers. This is competitive. This is highly quality orientated. The rating system encourages researchers to publish high quality outputs in high impact journals or outlets. It identifies researchers who count among the leaders in their fields of expertise and gives recognition to those who constantly produce high quality research outputs. We have 3 recognitions tonight. The first one will receive in absentia, so we won't call the VC and Dr. Moche forward. But I am very happy to announce, colleagues, the recipient of the 2023 Rated Researcher Award from University of Mpumalanga is Professor Vusi Gumede, the Dean of the Faculty of Economic, Business and Development Studies. His C3 rating recognizes him as an established researcher with sustained record of productivity and having produced a body of quality work, the core of which has coherence and attests to ongoing engagement with the discipline. We're very sorry that Professor Gumede is not with us tonight. We are presenting this award in his absentia, and we look forward to the summary of his profile. Thank you.
I'm Vusi Gumede, the Dean for the Faculty of Economics, Development and Business Sciences. I started on the 1st of November 2020. It has been a productive 3 years in many ways here at the University of Mpumalanga, particularly in relation to my career. I thank the University of Mpumalanga for the recognition. The UMP Research Excellence Award in the category of the NRF rated researchers is a testimony that UMP indeed creates opportunities. This award has a lot of significance and meaning to me, as it confirms that hard work, dedication, commitment, and discipline get acknowledged and rewarded. It should hopefully inspire others, especially younger scholars, that the sacrifice that goes to research and publishing ultimately pays off. Just like we are inspired by our own Vice-Chancellor, who, against demanding roles and responsibilities, still publishes, and she's also NRF rated, and she's still supervising postgraduate students. I share this award with many researchers with whom I've worked, some providing research assistance, some as co-authors, some as co-editors over the years since I joined the academic sector in 2010. I get invited to address conferences based on my research and publications, both in South Africa and internationally. Some of my publications have won awards. My research focuses on the political economy of South Africa, and this is really about social and economic development in the context of South Africa, a whole range of issues that should be addressed, and the questions that should be resolved, and the policy issues that should be addressed if we are to advance well-being in South Africa. Number two, the political economy of development in Africa. This includes, for me, revisiting ideas and works of leading development thinkers in Africa. Number three, macroeconomics, or what economists call the study of the economy in aggregate, in total, or we can say economic research broadly, which is a continuation of research from my primary discipline, economics, which started with a master's in economics in the 1990s. Lastly, public policy, which is an area that started when I joined the presidency in government in 2001. And my job was more of a policy analyst than an economist, although I had been recruited as a senior economist. I've published in all these areas, including 18 books, and they're here, including those that I've contributed to, and 2 of them are in press. The research I've done, the publications from that research have earned me opportunities to play roles in various institutions, both in South Africa and in other countries. I serve in numerous organizations that allow me to influence decision making. I get invited to participate in many organizations, both in South Africa and outside South Africa. Through the research I've been involved with and the publications, I get invited to serve in various editorial boards and editorial committees of journals, as well as editor-in-chief for some of these journals. My hope is that my research and publications contribute to the social and economic development of our country, South Africa, and the continent of Africa. I try to present my publications and findings from research in an accessible manner through opinion articles and blogs. Again, I'm pleased with the award, and I'm grateful to UMP and particularly the Vice-Chancellor that I can continue doing research and publish, because it is not easy for deans, for heads of schools, for TVCs and VCs to continue publishing given the nature of such roles. I apologize that I'm not present at the Research Excellence Awards. Thank you for your attention.
In absentia, Professor Gumede, thank you very much. Colleagues, Professor Gumede is engaged with a high-level process with CODESRA on the African continent. We are very pleased about that representation of the university and his caliber of being a researcher in that environment. So let the record show that he has been excused for a good reason, but let the record also show that we have acknowledged him as a community for the excellence. Thank you indeed. I am very pleased then to ask the Vice-Chancellor and Dr. Moche to come forward to recognize the next awardee in the rated researcher category. And we honor today Professor Funso Kuto, the head of the School of Agriculture and acting dean of the Faculty of Natural Agriculture and Natural Sciences. Professor Kuto's C2 rating achieved in 2023 recognize him as an established researcher with a sustained record of productivity and having produced a body of quality work, the core of which is coherence, and attests to ongoing engagement with the discipline. Many congratulations, Funso, and we look forward to see your video.
I am Funsho Raphael Kutu. I'm a professor of agronomy with specialization in soil science in the School of Agricultural Sciences, the Faculty of Agriculture and Natural Sciences. I'm currently the acting dean, but also the head of School of Agricultural Sciences. I joined the University of Mpumalanga in the year 2018. 1st of July as a professor of agriculture. My research work seeks to promote sustainable and resilience of agro-ecosystems based on improved agronomic practices to promote soil health and sustainable crop production. The research is underpinned by 6 themes, which include soil fertility management, composting work, cropping systems, improve agronomic practices to climate smart agricultural practices to guarantee increase and sustainable crop production. This work is made possible through the support of my students and a number of my research collaborators. Over the years, I've had the opportunity to have funding support for this work through different funders. Key among these are the National Research Foundation, NRF, for which most of the work around composting has been a success through the funding support. I've also secured funding for the work through Maize Trusts, my previous employment, and the Agricultural Research Council through the parliamentary grants. I've also had opportunity to have secure funding, which is jointly through Agricultural Research Council and ICRISAT Bulawayo. Currently, I'm being funded on a project of grain legumes for improved nutrition by the National Research Foundation through NRF and the RTF funding instrument. These projects have led to a number of successes, including graduating of postgraduate students and publication of a number of journal articles, both locally and internationally. To date, have successfully graduated 30 master students and 6 doctoral students. This is made possible through the various collaboration work that we do, both at national and provincial level and internationally. One of the international funded project which led to the success in terms of the publication was that which was funded by NRF and the Department of Science and Technology from India, through which we had a record of 4 publications, and 1 master student graduated from that project. There are a number of other projects which we are currently running together with ARC, and that which I run with the Provincial Department of Agriculture here in Mpumalanga. This award from the University of Mpumalanga is of great importance to me. It signifies the recognition of my National Research Foundation rating of C2, which was achieved last year. And the recognition by UMP is of great value, which I sincerely appreciate, because it represents an important landmark in my research career, because it is the first major award which I will be getting since my research endeavor. I sincerely appreciate UMP for this recognition, which I dedicate to my wife, who has been a strong support and encouragement for me, and all my research students and my collaborators. Thank you.
Professor Kutu, this is not your last major award. And we want to also speak to the fact that there's a wider personal support system around researchers that one sometimes underestimate. Household responsibilities, partners, families, etc. And that message goes for all researchers that are being recognized, but also as we want to develop an effective support mechanism for researchers to flourish, but recognizing that personal environment. Thank you very much, and great congratulations to you. If we may please ask our 2 facilitators, recognitions, hosts to join us again. Please, we're very pleased to announce then the 3rd awardee for tonight is Dr. Leon Mini from the School of Biological Environmental Sciences, Faculty of Agriculture and Natural Sciences. The Y2 NRF rating of Dr. Mini in 2023 recognized him as a promising young researcher with high potential to establish themselves as researchers, and with recognition of the quality of research outputs. We are very pleased also that Dr. Mini was the Faculty Emerging Researcher of the Year awardee in 2019. Thank you very much, Leon. Dr. Moche, thank you very much for your presence, and we look forward to see the journey and the summary of Dr. Mini.
Hi, my name is Leon Mini, and I'm a lecturer in ecology at the University of Mpumalanga. I work in the School of Biology and Environmental Sciences, which is in the Faculty of Agriculture and Natural Sciences. I've been working at UMP since 2017. My research mainly focuses on predator-prey dynamics, carnivore ecology, and then large mammal ecology. And more recently, I've shifted the focus of my research to look at the factors driving predator and prey communities, specifically looking at the top-down and the bottom-up drivers of prey communities and how this varies between natural and anthropogenically modified ecosystems. So probably the most impactful of my research has been my work on jackals. I was one of the first people to look at the population dynamics, specifically dispersal and reproduction of jackals between conservation areas and livestock farms. And I showed that lethal management of black-backed jackals is not a long-term strategy in solving predation on small livestock. And that is mainly because jackals get sexually mature at a younger age and they produce larger litter sizes when they lethally manage. Also, my work showed that there's a movement of jackals from conservation areas onto farming areas because of this contrast in hunting intensity, with nature reserves acting as source populations because they are not lethally managed, and then the offspring move on to the neighboring farms where they are lethally managed. So another aspect of my research which I actively pursue is collaboration, because it's one of UMP's core values. So I've got a lot of collaborative research projects, and one of the most impactful ones I've had is a collaboration with a lot of South Africans but also Australian institutions, where we looked at the humaneness of using livestock guarding dogs as well as larger predators in managing smaller predators like black-backed jackals on farming areas. So this was the first of its kind, where we looked at how humane is it actually of using these livestock guarding dogs in reducing the impact that black-backed jackal. So this award actually means a lot for me. I'm really honored to be receiving this award, and it's based on my NRF rating. I received a Y2 rating at the end of last year, I think, 2021. And the NRF rating is essentially just acknowledging the work I've done as a young scientist, as an emerging scientist. So I'm very honored to receive this award, and it makes me feel valued within the research community in South Africa as a whole, and also within the research community of UMP. So the research community within UMP is recognizing the work that I'm doing, and they're supporting what I'm doing with regards to research.
Dr. Mini, very well done. Many congratulations. And colleagues, many congratulations to all the awardees tonight. Please let's have a collective round of applause for everyone. I want to acknowledge two groups. Number one, previous awardees that are joining us tonight. You see what the result is of this recognition. You see what the appreciation is of this recognition. And we really want to re-recognize you, if you will, in this awardees evening. Thank you very much also then to Fortune and Tlangalani Ubisi, who is the Director of Communication and Stakeholder Relations, for this magnificent portrayal of the process of research, of the profile of research, and to really position these researchers as we honor them in the Excellence Awards. Thank you very much to both of you. Colleague, there's one formal engagement left for tonight, and for me, this is an important one. It adds value to the recognition. It brings external perspective. It adds excellence by bringing an excellent person to the university, and it really recognizes the process of what we see and regard as strategic partners, strategic partnerships, and what that means. For the first time, we've invited a keynote speaker to the UMP Excellence Awards evening. She has spoken briefly but substantially today during the Research Innovation Day. And I'm very pleased, colleagues, to introduce to you Dr. Sally Stansfield, one of the chief advisors at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, formerly from Deloitte US, as our keynote speaker for tonight. Sally is very well known in the philanthropy environment, in the research environment, and in the health research environment. She's a globally recognized leader, specifically in public health and development, and brings more than 30 years of experience in health system strengthening, with a focus on health information, communication, technology, data maximization or optimization, metrics for evaluation, and information technology and governance. She's had extensive experience working with global health partners. She's also not new to South Africa, although you are very new to Mpumalanga province. So Sally has completed a large part of her practical engagement of her graduate studies in South Africa. She has been directly and formally linked to the famous Chris Barnard with her training and her graduate engagement. Sally, we are very, very pleased to welcome you here. As Christian has said today, I feel at home. I do hope that you feel at home. And we look forward to your remarks as the first keynote speaker of our Excellence Awards evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. I've been set up as the barrier between all of you and lunch earlier, and now the barrier between all of you and dinner. So I recognize my role here. Talk quickly. But, and Christian Barnard called me Bubbles, by the way. And my chief of surgery told me, just don't ever be in the room alone with him. So anyway, I can tell more stories over about my clinical training here in South Africa later, but I learned so much, oh my goodness, and bonded with this place. And I will tell you, in response to Christian's feeling at home here, oh my God, as I said to a woman earlier tonight, it's so nice to be in a place where people meet your gaze and smile again. This Mpumalanga, you are very lucky. Don't ever leave. So, about all of this, I will just say, wow. I mean, I don't think that's as articulate as you would like the the fancy external speaker to be, but you know, it's very impressive what you folks have done. And before I kind of make a few remarks about the future, I would like to say that, you know, I think the fruits of all of your work, which have been presented tonight, are clear evidence of the importance of having a contract, a mutual contract between faculty and students, senior faculty and junior faculty. Everyone needs to hold everyone else accountable for excellence, because the reason it works is because you've got a big community and you pool knowledge and expertise and can assess each other's methodology and approaches, and don't stop holding yourself accountable. And don't stop asking for critiques. They may not feel good at the time, but you're not doing your students or junior faculty any favors by letting them skid by with sub-excellent research. And you're not doing, you know, as Prof. Choco said, you're not doing the brand of UMP any favors either by letting things skid by. So good for you. Keep the excellence. Maintain the mutual contract. So just a little comment about where you guys are going. You're in a very strong position, I'd say. There's so many threats out there. You know, there's climate change, there's food insecurity, there's poverty, you know, unemployment featured heavily, oh my goodness. Refugee issues, pandemics, you know, there are supply chain disruptions, and we even heard one presentation on load sharing. You know, God knows the lights may go out at any moment. But, you know, and one of the big things too is migration patterns. don't lose sight of the fact that you've got the overdeveloped world by the gonads. They are scared. They are frightened. And, if we don't get a handle on all these other issues within the continent and globally, New York's going to look pretty bad. The migration patterns are definitely scaring the overdeveloped world. And it seems a bit like extortion, but don't be ashamed of it. The research that needs to be done to solve these problems so that people don't have to move from one place to another to stay alive is really important. And you guys are in a strong position to make that happen. So there's lots to solve. Research is the tool. You can do the research to define the problems, to test the solutions, whatever. People will sit up and take notice because the world is frightened, rightfully so. So there are lots of needs and opportunities, not only for that research, but for the capacity building to do that research, as well as for the strategic partnerships to get the job done. So I guess, a couple things that I would suggest is, first of all, the overdeveloped world needs Africa. And it doesn't really know it yet, but they will. Witness the supply chain for some of the critical minerals that are going to be necessary to make some of the green technologies happen. They're here. You've got a young, dynamic, and innovative population, witness the awards tonight, and, the knowledge and the innovation is here. And there's many solutions to global health problems, global problems that are going to be found here. And, I think another thing is that the overdeveloped world is addicted to growth. For some reason, they've decided growth is the metric for everything. And Asia's done growing, so is Europe and North America. The growth is going to happen here. So, again, don't hesitate to extort the resources that are necessary to solve the problems, because the solutions are going to be here. So I would just say define the agenda. Assemble. There's been a lot of talk about strategic partnerships. Assemble those strategic partnerships. And one thing I learned at the Gates Foundation is don't doubt your convening power. One of the fabulous things about being there is I could phone and say, can you be at Bill and Melinda's house on Tuesday night for dinner? And nobody said no. And Mpumalanga can be the place that people need to come in order to solve those big problems. And you guys can establish that that you can convene the best brains, including your own, and globally, convene the donors and extort shamelessly, because you guys have, all the solutions here. So go with it.
Sally, being direct and taking your advice on face value has served you and many global organizations very well. And we will follow that same route. Thank you very much. We want to be held accountable for what we do. We want to be held accountable for what we perceive as being excellent. And we will take any criticism for us to advance this excellence. So let's please, colleagues, not be too happy and proud about what excellence really means. Let's be open to criticism so that we can change and advance and be better always. In your context, I want to pick up what Professor Swanepoel said today about unleashing the power and excellence of African science. And we are young, but we are playing that role in this context of what excellence is, what science is, and we must take it forward. And we must, Sally, define our own agenda, not being obtuse to what the global agenda or regional agenda is. But let's be direct about it. You will recall that there was many, through Gordon's comment today, mentioned today of what is the agenda, who's the funders, who's this. It's a fine balance, colleagues. Let's be very frank about it. There are funding holders, there are researchers, there are institutions like ourselves. We must be innovative and we must be informed about what that means and how we will take that further. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for being the new official supporter of the University of Mpumalanga. As the Chief Advisor for Impact at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Sally, thank you very much. And we recognize your excellence and your influence globally, not only in your disciplinary field, but in terms of what advancement and change means. Thank you once again. Colleagues, I want to make a few remarks in terms of what the value of partnership is and what our partners have meant for the university, and especially what that will mean for the future. Number one, we've been very frank about what the need of partnerships is today, nationally, internationally, and in our community and locally. We have not really interrogated, and we will do that in the very near future, of what partnerships within our own institution mean. And that means co-supportive, acknowledging multi, inter, and transdisciplinarity, knowing what the person in the lab next to you do, and use that synergy, and really create a framework that is enabling for us to take it forward. Secondly, in my short time here, but certainly acknowledged over many years, the very, very strong partners in 2 tiers that the university has, and shall I perhaps say 3 tiers. Number one, 32 very prominent, very engaging, very public international partnerships outside of South Africa that advances the mandate and the vision of the university. It is multidimensional, it is multi-country, multi-funder, and colleagues, that creates a very strong framework for us to take us forward. The second tier is our national environment. I've been so pleased and so impressed by very in-depth, broad-based, visionary national partnerships, either in singularity or as consortia, of what we do, what this university do, with SANBI, with Riverside, with the science councils in South Africa, beyond funding with the NRF, etc., etc. And the third tier, colleagues, is what our local community engagement is. And let's be frank, there's more work to do, but the basis has been established. And that is part of the new portfolio of engagement, formally now at the university. So these few remarks honors the notion of how we need to escalate and establish and further strengthen an understanding of truly strategic partnerships in all its guises at the university. It would be for innovation, it would be for institutional advancement, it would be for associative value and recognition of the university, and really it must be for actual rands and cents, for actual advancement of the capacity that we want to have. We want to build capacity to further advance excellence. And everything we do, everything that we see as going forward, will have the basis of partnerships. A small example would be library and information services. You know, colleagues, everyone wants to see a new university succeed. It's as if you have that national imperative or need to do that in the country. So, if I may dare say, we have succeeded. That has been acknowledged in the 10-year existence. This has been acknowledged by our Vice-Chancellor's leadership and recognition. But if you have an agreement with WITS to share at their cost the sharing of databases, if you have an agreement with University of Pretoria to share at their cost the sharing of databases or lending schemes, etc., that is the commitment of our external partners to invest in our university, to see a new university succeed. And that is the basis and the framework within which we will go forward, not only for the success of contributing to a higher education system as a new university, as the 25th or 26th university in the country, but really, colleagues, to show what is the value addition. We're not only receiving, we are giving. We are co-creating and we are advancing the excellence of our country, not just our province, but of our country. So this technically is an ode to our partners, being present or not, that we will be very direct in how we pursue you. We will be very direct with how we ask the excellent researchers here to pursue their partners and to lead our engagements. Thirdly, you will be well supported by an enabling system of funding, of engagement, of innovation for us to bring newness to our partnerships, to position and reposition what we're trying to do. We are very, very fortunate about the leadership that has been present, the deans, the heads of schools, our VC, of course, with our partnerships. But we want to take a sea change in terms of where we want to position it. The awardees of tonight will be a critical role player in this endeavor. The previous awardees, the next awardees, and really the deans as we've positioned today, for us to be quite critical in terms of what our success is, but for us to acknowledge also quite broadly where we want to go. Gugu, I don't want to put you on the spot, but your team and yesterday and you today have provided a very broad framework of support. And we are ready to contribute to that. And I'm saying specifically contribute to that. We're not ready to receiving it because it is a collaborative commitment. We're not waiting to receive, we're waiting to contribute. And the NRF, colleagues, as you well know, is not the only funder in the country. And if you look at the metrics, it's actually a very small funder in the country. But it is a critical funder in the country of what that basis of contribution is. And hence, we want to use the leverage working with you to leverage other opportunities, to be more excellent than one currently is, for us to use that support and that partnership for us to go forward. So I'm committing you with your wonderful acknowledgement tonight with witnesses, if you will, that we want to partner with you in a very strategic way, and then we will take this forward for our own endeavor. Colleagues, thank you indeed for such a wonderful evening. I want to ask Professor Pindile Lukele Oloronju our inaugural Director, Research Management, and our most wonderful Director, Research Management, to conclude our formal part of the evening by providing a vote of thanks. I want to thank you for this great and exciting evening. I'm getting your speech, VC, because we're putting this in the envisioning of the research strategy. And I want to repeat that one sometimes feels you just want to be part of something so new and so exciting. And we acknowledging our excellence, we acknowledging our inclusive process of this university, and really watch out, there's really more to come. Pendile, you are very welcome.
Thank you very much, Aldo, and what a day. This has been more than what we all expected, especially because we were all looking forward to it, and we had excellent visitors, excellent researchers and people from other universities. Our speakers in the morning, I won't say much, but I just want to say it has been a great and wonderful day. I would like to say thank you, first and foremost, to our Vice Chancellor. There's an African proverb that says, an army of sheep led by a lion can defeat an army of lions led by a sheep. That's an African proverb. So you know that we are led by a lion, and we are defeating the lions led by sheep. So, VC, thank you very much. We really appreciate your words, especially when you said you want to remind us that we are trusted, we are valued, and we are needed. When you begin to show people that you trust them, you value them, and you need them, there is nothing that they will not do for you. Because we know who you are, we have tried and we do our best to make sure that this university will not fail. With your leadership and the way you lead and the way you teach, you know, nobody goes to your office and gets out of that office very sad. No matter how much or what mistake you have made, the VC will say, let's talk about it. This is how we do it and why we do it this way. And colleagues, I can say that this is why some of us have survived the 9 years in Mpumalanga. She also reminded us that excellence takes a lot of sacrifice, but it can be done. And she went on to indicate that excellence actually is at the heart of it all at this university. All the 7 values, she described them, she explained, but excellence is what we have been striving for. And my colleagues, please don't forget this. The road to excellence is always under construction. And we all know what construction means at UMP, because we've been working, we've been living, we are still living with construction around us. You know, we don't complain when we come here and you realize that what you left where you came from is not here. We want you to come and be part of building the University of Mpumalanga. And we say thank you for that. And lastly, VC, I just want to say you always remind us that weeds just grow, but flowers are cultivated. And this is what you are doing at UMP, cultivating flowers and not allowing weeds to grow. When a weed grows, she will push it down. When it grows, push it under the soil. But when the flower is planted, it will grow. And thank you very much. Some of us have become flowers because you allowed us to grow. Thank you. You cultivated us. We didn't grow as weeds. And so thank you very much. I would also want to say thank you very much to our awardees. Guys, you're excellent. Ayanda, thank you very much. You know, emerging researcher, faculty emerging researcher, it's a step towards faculty researcher of the year. All these ones who stood up today as faculty researchers, they started where you are. And we want to believe that you will not stop. Don't let anything stop you. Don't take decisions out of fear or decisions out of what people will say. Do the work you are doing. It's an excellent work. We saw it and we appreciate it. And sorry that, like Aldo said, that it was so good that they had to cut you short. Thank you very much. And we also want to appreciate our faculty researchers of the year. Tatenda, no, my dear, thank you very much. You were an emerging researcher not long ago. Now you are a faculty researcher, and your work speaks for itself. We all know. I don't think anybody would ever complain when they hear that you are the faculty researcher of the year. I know it, especially because when I submit to DHET, I say, wow, some people are working at UMP. And thank you for making UMP shine because of the work that you do. Thank you very much. And also I want to say thank you to Professor Kanayo. I like to stop there. I don't like this Oguijuba. I just like to say, Professor Kanayo, thank you so much. Last year, you received the same award. This year, it just shows that you never stop working. And we appreciate that. And there's no way we would have denied you this award just because you got it last year. We see the work you've done, and we appreciate it. Thank you for making us shine. We know you have a lot of responsibilities, but research is still number one, and we appreciate that. And for our NRF recipients, 2022 recipients, thank you very much. You make us proud. Leanne, thank you. You know, it's not easy to be Y2 rated. Sometimes they think you just get it. No, it's not easy. We know NRF will write back to us and say, we think you can ask this one to wait for another 2 years, politely. And then we'll find a way of also telling the researcher politely that, you know what, just grow, just do something. Thank you, Leanne. We appreciate it, and we know you're working very hard. And the professors, Professor Kutu and Professor Gumede, C2 rated researchers, we appreciate that because, like Aldo said, the inaugural rated research at UMP, that was in 2013, 2014. Now we have all of you, 13 rated researchers at UMP. And we are proud of that because we are not competing with anybody. We are building ourselves up. So when we say 13, we are proud. We are not comparing ourselves with those who have 40 or 200 rated researchers. We say, UMP, you are growing. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. We know the load you are carrying as program leader, as head of school, as acting dean, supervisors, students. We appreciate everything. We don't take this for granted. We know those who got awards today are not just researchers, they are academics, they are teachers as well. And it's a lot of load that you are carrying. But thank you so much for making us proud this night. And then I would like to say thank you to our keynote speaker. You know, extort. You know, before when I hear the word extort, I would think of something negative, extortion. You know, you mentioned it twice, and I think I like it. Yes. You said that the developing world or the developed world needs Africa, and they may not know it. And you said that because of the many challenges that are out there, research is the key in solving those challenges. And you said because we are taking research seriously, we must extort the resources needed to solve the problems, because resources are here. Thank you. We will extort. We are currently, going through a survey by the Bill and Melinda Gates group. They want to identify 10 universities, South Africa and Mozambique. We are all, working on submitting information, everything. Aldo said we must extort this one. So we are going to extort this particular one. I want to make sure that UMP is amongst the 10 that will be chosen, because there are many other universities that are competing for this. We are going to extort this one, and I'm telling you. And you said UMP can be the place to convene the best brains, the best donors, and we must extort. Don't forget this word, Thank you so much. Thank you very much, and thank you. And lastly, want to say thank you to our guests tonight from the University of Pretoria, from NRF, from Stellenbosch. It's almost like the Big Five. And from NMU, are you a Big Five? No. And of course, Uganda, thank you very much for taking your time. And for you, Sally, as well, thank you for taking your time to come and spend this day, a whole day with us, when you are very busy people. But we appreciate you very much for doing this, and we hope that it's not the last time you come to UMP. Yes, we will. And finally, thank you very much, Aldo. Thank you for facilitating, making sure this succeeds. And also to our colleagues in communications, what do you call yourself? Liaison and stakeholder something. We thank you very much. Our IT guys, you've been with us the whole day. We appreciate you. Thank you for doing a good job. And finally, but not the least, our research office. Please clap for them. This is a wonderful team. Thank you very much. And thank you. I thank myself.
Pendile, you can certainly thank yourself. There are years of thanking to do for you and your leadership, and the process of instillment of a research culture and excitement about research at the university. We will acknowledge you very formally and very elaborately early next year. But colleagues, we must acknowledge this tremendous leadership by this Professor Pendile. Thank you indeed. We had a magnificent evening. I enjoyed it so much. It's starting now, in a sense. So we have celebrated excellence. We've talked about the long day, which has been fruitful, insightful. We've acknowledged our tremendous partners and our most tremendous visitors that has contributed and pulled together this discussion that we've had today. We acknowledge that many of us will participate in South Africa Science Forum as from tomorrow, which is an additional recognition of the positioning of the university. Dr. Mgwebe is doing the facilitation of the opening plenary. Christian, Franz, and I are facilitating a session on strategic partnerships on Thursday. Professor Moche is participating in the final session. Gordon O'Brien is engaged by Sion on Thursday on a session, and many others. And colleagues, that's national recognition. This is South Africa's Science Forum. And we are very pleased to acknowledge this and for us to take this forward. Pendile has been very, very inclusive in her acknowledgement of all the role players of this day and of tonight. But I really need to mention Kolisile and Cynthia and Glenn and Tlangalani and Leighton and Safiso and this magnificent hotel where many of you at that table is staying. And Maria and Tadenda as awardee, but also as faculty representative in the organizing team, and many others. Colleagues, thank you very much. You've made this easy. You've made this insightful, and you've made this a day and an evening to enjoy. We will expand on this. We will make it bigger. We will make it very prominent. The awards evening is not a start. The Research and Innovation Day has been a start. And this has been really so wonderful, so successful, and we want to thank you for your presence. This concludes the formal engagement of tonight. Colleagues, thank you so much for sharing this with the university. Professor Mayikisu, you are the host and the instigator of the Excellence Awards. This will continue. You will always be this primary leader, this primary engager, acknowledger of what excellence is at the university. So thank you very much for our evening, and also thank you very much for our day. We invite you to have dinner, buffet style outside. We would want to invite all awardees, all persons on the program, to please congregate here in front for a parallel photography session. This will be moved, and you will see what those arrangements are. Thank you again for this great evening. We will see you in this context next year, perhaps slightly earlier in the calendar year, I think. But we hope that you enjoy the evening, and we are very thankful that you are sharing it with us. Have a great evening.